Well, don't delay. That's the message election officials are sending voters who are considering casting their ballots by mail this year. The threat of the coronavirus could lead to more votes by mail this year than ever before. 10 TV chief investigative reporter Bennett Haberly and reporters from our sister stations decided to test the mail system.
The U.S. Postal Service has already faced intense scrutiny this year after it proposed changes meant to improve its business side. Several states sued, saying that those changes delayed the mail and threatened to undermine the election. The lawsuits have since been settled this week. We wanted to test out the mail system, so we mailed letters to other reporters across the country. And what we found may help you as you start to vote.
These absentee ballots may have started their lives as tree pull, but their ultimate destiny could be shaping the path of the country.
Hi, do you have a ballot for us? So you have 2, 3.
Against the backdrop of COVID-19, a record number of Americans could be voting through means other than showing up at the polls. 2.5 million Ohioans have requested absentee ballots. Given that they might be coming from within the state or across the country, we wanted to test the mail system and began our unscientific experiment on September 15th.
I'm Paula Bassan in Louisville, Kentucky.
I'm Shannon Smith in Knoxville, Tennessee.
On that day,
3, 2, 1.
We exchanged letters with reporters in 11 different cities in 8 different states. In most cases, our letters arrived or were received within 2 to 4 days, in line with most USPS shipping estimates. But there were exceptions. A letter mailed to me from a reporter in Washington, D.C. took 8 days to arrive here in Columbus, and a letter I mailed a reporter in Memphis took nearly 14 days to get there and showed up without being postmarked. Is there any concern for people who are using this absentee ballot system that their ballot may not get there in time?
Yeah, let's talk about timing and the security of the absentee voting process and voting by mail in general. This is something that raised concerns for me as well.
Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose says that's why he convened a bipartisan group of secretaries of states from across the country that met virtually with the USPS Postmaster General on 2 occasions.
The Postal Service has been very loud and clear in their communication with us as the nation's elections officials that for them, elections mail is their top priority. They didn't say it's one of our top priorities. The Postmaster General said directly to us, elections mail is our top priority now.
But incidents like what happened last week in Franklin County, where nearly 50,000 voters were mailed the wrong ballots and needed to be mailed new ones, could threaten voter confidence in voting by mail.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey, I got a sticker.
We talked to 2 women who opted to drop off their absentee ballots in person.
We need our sticker. I know.
Why didn't you mail it with U.S. Postal Service?
I wanted to make sure it got here.
Yeah, I saw it happening in other states, but then again, I saw a little tidbit about things are happening here in Ohio. So I thought better safe than sorry.
I have a lot of confidence in the mail. I voted by mail this year. And I live in Maryland, and we have the ability to track that just like folks in Ohio do.
Ben Hovland is the chairman of the U.S. Election Assistance Commission. That's a bipartisan group created after the confusion and disputes over the 2000 presidential election of Bush v. Gore. Remember dimpled Chads? Well, the EAC's job is to offer assistance to states, verify and accredit voting machines, and provide feedback to Congress. Hovland's recommendation to anyone voting absentee?
And I think the biggest thing is to make sure you get it in early. In Ohio, you have to have it postmarked by the day before the election, so the 2nd. But why wait that long? Get that in as soon as you can.
The U.S. Postal Service declined our request for an on-camera interview, but issued us a lengthy statement, which we'll post to 10tv.com. In part, it read that the Postal Service has authorized additional resources, additional trips, and additional overtime to ensure that election mail arrives in a timely manner. Bennett Haberly, 10 TV News.
Well, if you have more questions about the election, our 10 TV voter access team is on it. They are working both in front of the camera and behind the scenes to investigate tips and keep you informed.